Alright, what's up guys, this is Jake, and in this video I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can go ahead and make video ads for e-commerce. So whether you are creating ads for your own e-commerce store and products, or whether you are trying to create video ads for a client that you have, this video is going to apply to you, and I'm going to be walking through every step of the process and actually creating an ad right in front of you. So jumping right into it, the first thing that you need to be familiar with before we actually start creating the ad itself is going to be the different ad sizes here. So there's going to be three main sizes, and they're going to be 16 by 9, 1 by 1, and 9 by 16. And essentially what this is going to be a wide video, a square video, or a vertical video. And depending on the size of the video that you're going to be creating, it's going to apply to different platforms. So you can see here I listed some of the different platforms here that are going to be the most common through these video sizes. So the 16 by 9 is primarily going to be like YouTube ads, Twitter, LinkedIn, and sometimes Facebook, but less commonly Facebook. These square type ads are going to commonly be like Instagram, in feed, LinkedIn, more commonly on Facebook and Pinterest. And then your 9 by 16 vertical ads are going to be a lot more common on Instagram stories, Snapchat, TikTok, and Pinterest as well. It's important to make sure that coming into creating a video ad, you know which platform you want to target with this particular ad, so that way you can choose the right sizing for your ad. So you can always use one ad on different platforms. However, it is best to optimize each ad for the specific platform. Plus, certain platforms are going to have different marketing tactics that might work a little bit better. Like the strategy for a YouTube ad might be slightly different than the strategy for a TikTok ad, for example, because TikTok ads are generally shorter and YouTube ads are generally longer. So these different types of factors come into play. So once you've went ahead and chosen which platform you're trying to create an ad for, we can go ahead and actually move forward to the ad creation process. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. All right, so in order to get started, you're going to want to head over to invideo.io. So you can get here by clicking the first link in the description down below. And what this software is going to allow us to do is it's going to let us create video ads extremely easily optimized for whatever platform we are trying to create ads for. So we can see that once we head over to the site right here, all you're going to have to do is you're going to be prompted here to go ahead and select which dimension you want to go ahead and use to get started. So like I said, we have the three dimensions that we took a look at earlier. So we have wide, we have square, and we have vertical. So depending on which platform you want to go ahead and create your ad for, that's what you're going to go ahead and create in this particular case. So in this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and create a square one for the sake of this video. And what we can go ahead and see here is now we have to go ahead and choose whether or not we want to use a pre-made template, or we can also use text to video, or we can go ahead and do a blank canvas and start from scratch. So first, what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you how to use the template and edit through it, and then towards the end I'm going to create a quick blank ad from scratch as well. So we can go ahead and search for different things here that are going to be relevant to the type of products we're trying to promote. So if you don't really know where to get started when it comes to how to create a video ad or what to even put in it, then you're probably better off using a template, because that's going to kind of give you inspiration that you can kind of just fill in information and content with, versus trying to create everything from scratch. So we can see here, you can see different examples of hot templates right here. So if I were to hover over one, we can actually see the preview of this template right here. So we can see that this is what the template itself would actually look like. And we could go in here and edit all of these images and text and everything like that, and change it to fit what we are promoting. If we scroll over here, we can see there's a bunch more different options here. And then if we scroll down, we can see that now these are some recently added templates right in here. And then we have some templates here for Instagram stories. We have some templates for intros. We have some templates for video ads right here. So these might be relevant to us for what we're doing. So we could go ahead and scroll through here to see if there's any templates here that fit what we're trying to promote. Or alternatively, we could come up here and go ahead and search for our own keywords here. So let's say we were in the fitness niche. So if I went ahead and searched fitness, we could go ahead and see all of the different templates here that relate to fitness. So if we were selling fitness related products, we could go ahead and use these different templates here. So once again, we could just hover over these different templates to see what they're going to go ahead and look like. So we could go ahead and look through here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and pick one out. So let's say, for example, that we were selling like fitness supplements. We could go ahead and open up this one, for example, and if we find one we like, we can just click on use this template right here, and it will go ahead and load up here in just a second. So this brings us inside of the video editor here, which is actually pretty easy to use, and I'm going to go ahead and walk you through all of the different things you can go ahead and do here. So in this particular case, we can see that we have our editor down here. So we can see that this first thing right here is going to be this voiceover down here at the bottom. So if you do have a voiceover, this is where it would go. Then we have this audio right here. So this is going to be the background music. And then we have right here the actual different slides. So we can see we have one slide. This is slide number 2, slide number 3, slide number 4, and each one of these slides or scenes right now is 4 seconds long. And we can see that we can come in here and add our particular logo to this if we want. So you can edit any of the different things on here by just clicking on them. So let's say this says best protein 40%. Let's say we wanted to change this text. We could go ahead and click on it and, change it to 35, 50, whatever you want to change it to. So if this is like a sale or something, you could say, 50% off. Let's say that, for example, you wanted to put your own protein in here instead. So we can see that this layer right here, we would just want to get rid of. So you could just like click on this layer here, click delete, and then I could come over here to uploads, and we could upload our own picture here by clicking upload media. In this case, I have this picture of just regular protein right here, and we can see that I could go ahead and shrink it down, drag it over here, and then we can come over to these layers, and I would drag it on top of these lines so where it looks just like the other protein picture did before. Now obviously in this case, this picture, we'd want to go ahead and edit out the white background, but for the sake of this video, I just took a quick image to throw it up here for the example. So we can see that just like that, we went ahead and edited that right there. If we wanted to go ahead and add in our logo, we could just click right here, and I'll just put this same picture in as the logo just to show that as an example here. And once this goes ahead and loads up, we can see that this logo has been added to all scenes and set as default for the project here. So now we have our logo here in every single scene. So we could go ahead and go through and edit all of these different things to fit our particular ad. So if we wanted to change the different copy, let's say that our branding was different colors here, so we didn't want to actually use yellow, we wanted to change our branding to something else. So let's say our branding is actually like this red, so we could go ahead and put in the hex code here for our branding, but in this case I'll just go with a base red. And let's say I wanted to go ahead and just change all of this to red. We could go ahead and do that very easily right here. We can go over to the diagonal lines, and we can also change these to red as well just by clicking on them. And we could change all of this to red right here as well. And we can see that just like that, we have went ahead and edited this first slide to fit our branding right here. So if I were to come back here, drag this to the beginning and click play, we can see here that we've edited this first slide to go ahead and fit our branding where it has our logo, and we've changed our colors and everything. And it only took us about a minute to go ahead and do this. So what we would go ahead and do is proceed to do this with the rest of the actual slides here. So let's say we were selling a different product, we had another product photo, we would go ahead and just put that in this spot right here. We would change this color to match our branding just like we did before. We'd come over here to the third slide and do the same thing. We could go ahead and change this photo out for something else as well. And let's say we wanted to use different type of image right in here, we could actually come over here to the left side of InVideo and take a look at images here, and we can see that there's going to be a good amount of stock images that we can actually use in our ads here. So if I were to search fitness, we can see that there's actually a lot of different options of photos that we could go ahead and use here just by clicking on it, and then we could go ahead and add it into the actual ad if we wanted to. But in this case, I'll go ahead and just get rid of that. We can do the same thing by coming over here to videos. There's going to be a bunch of stock footage that we can go ahead and use as well by searching up different keywords, which is definitely a pretty cool feature inside of InVideo as well. And then we also have the music option over here, so we can go ahead and choose different types of music that we want to use in our background. So if we don't want to go ahead and use this background audio, we could go ahead and switch to different music right here as well. So we can see that that's pretty much how easy it is to go ahead and use a template to go ahead and create a custom video ad for your particular product. You just go ahead and pull up the template and then edit the slides to showcase your products and your branding, and then make it all match. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is show you how you can do this from a blank template here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the InVideo home screen. So now that we're back at the home screen, I'm going to go ahead and click on blank canvas this time, and I'm going to go ahead and click square, and I'm going to click on make a video. So we can see that this process is going to be very similar to the templated process, except now we just have to create things on our own here. So we can see here that we start off with just one 5-second scene. So if you already have videos and images of your own product, then what you can go ahead and do is just upload the media in here and then use that to create your own scene. So I'm going to go ahead and upload some media right now. So I went ahead and uploaded some media here. So I uploaded one video and 3 different images. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is just actually add the video in first, so we can drag the video down here and drop it in. And then we can see here that it's going to go ahead and allow us to edit this down, so we can either show the entire video or we can go ahead and trim it down to a particular point. So in this case here, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring the beginning up to right about here. Let's see when it's so it starts about there, so we're going to bring it up to here. So this is going to be the point that we use here, and we're going to end it right there. So once we've selected the section of the video that we want to go ahead and use, we're just going to click add. So now we've added this scene in right here, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to go ahead and increase the actual size of this video to make sure it takes up the entire screen in this case. So now we can come back over here and play it. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is add a bit of text to this video here. So if I come over here and I click on text, we can go ahead and add in some text here. So we can add in different headings, subheadings, or bodies of text. We can add in basic text, or we can add in different types of text here. So like artistic text, classic, modern. There's a lot of different stylings that you can go ahead and use for the text you want to add in. In this particular case, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple. So if we go ahead and open up the basic ones here, I'm just going to go ahead and use this text right here. So I'm going to click on that, and then we're going to just double click on it, and then we can put in some copy right here. So I could put in something like, these cards are waterproof. You can go ahead and edit the sizing by doing this. So I can go ahead and make the text a bit bigger, center it. We can change the different colors and add things like highlighting. We could go ahead and add a highlight color here by clicking on fill color and upping the opacity here. So we could go ahead and make this really whatever color we want, but doing this can help make your text a little bit more visible here. So I'll go ahead and just make this fill color blue. So now we can come down here, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little bit shorter here. So I want to be able to add in more text boxes, so I don't want that same text to last the whole time. So we could have it last for, let's say, the first 5 seconds of the video here. So if we preview this real quick, we can see the only thing I don't like is the text is coming in a bit too slow. So if we come over here and click on the text again and then click on animation here, we can go ahead and change the animation if we want, but in this case I'm just going to change the duration of the animation to 0.5 seconds, and now I'm going to preview it again. So yeah, I like that a lot better. We can see the text is coming in a lot quicker. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do here is, since we've added in one layer of text copy, I'm going to just add in one more since this video is around 10 seconds long. So I'm going to go back over to text again, and I'm going to add in another one. So I'm going to come back to the same one we had here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it here, which adds it in. And firstly, I'm going to make this one start when the previous text stops. So I'm going to come here to timeline, and we can see here that this one stops right there. So if we're on this, I'm going to go ahead and make this start right at the end of this, and then it's going to end at the end of this particular scene here. So now I'm going to go ahead and drag it back up to the same spot, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the copy. Do the same thing as before. Go ahead and make it a bit bigger and change the fill color. And we can go here to our previous color that we just used, which is saved down here in project colors. And we're going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to come over here to animation, and I'm going to make this animation 0.5 seconds, just like the last one here. And now I'm going to go ahead and go back to all scenes, and we're going to go ahead and view the scene in its entirety. So now that we've went ahead and built out the first scene, what I'm going to go ahead and do is build out the second scene. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just use a couple of images with a bit of text here in the second scene. So I'm going to click on the second scene to go ahead and start editing it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the uploads. And what I'm going to go ahead and do here is go ahead and add in each one of these images right here. So I'm going to add in the red cards, the gold cards, and the blue cards, because I'm going to showcase all of our variants in this particular case. So I'm going to add in all 3 of these images right here, and then I'm going to click on them to edit them here. I'm going to go ahead and shrink them down. So we've got these 3 different images right here, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do is edit this text to say like available in 3 different colors. Get yours now. And what I want to do is actually change this font here to the font that we've actually been using. So if I go ahead and click on this, we can see that that's going to match the prior font that we've been using on the previous slide. So now all of our branding actually lines up. We can see this is going to be a simpler slide here, where it's just these 3 different images. Now let's say I wanted to go ahead and add some animation for these images to just make this slide look a little bit more appealing, because right now if we go ahead and preview it, it just goes straight to this. But let's say we want to add a little bit of stuff to it. So I'm going to click on this, click on animation, and we're going to go ahead and give this one a fade from the left, and we're going to make it fade in, and we'll do 0.7 seconds. And then from this one, I'm going to give it an animation, and I'm going to make it fade from the right in the same time of 0.7 seconds. This one here, I'm going to once again add an animation, and I'm going to make this fade from the left. in 0.7 seconds. And then this text here, I'm going to add an animation and have this fade in from the right in 0.7 seconds. So now we've added some animation to all of these here, and we'll go ahead and preview it once again. And we can see that that looks a little bit better. Now let's say I wanted to change this background to something else. So I'm going to come over here to image here, and let's just see if they have anything related to like poker. So I'll go ahead and search this and see if there's like some type of generic background that we can just put behind all of these images here. So I'm going to go ahead and add in this image of the poker chips here. And first I'm going to go ahead and drag it all the way to the back. And I'm going to just make it take up the entire screen. And what I'm going to go ahead and do here is come over here to adjust colors. And I'm just going to turn its opacity down a lot. So I'm going to turn it down here to, let's say, 15. So we can see now our text and images and everything are very visible, but we have a little bit something more exciting in the background versus the plain background. So if we preview it again, we can see that this already looks a lot better, and we went ahead and created this in just a couple minutes completely from scratch. Then we can see that by default we had this music in here. We could go ahead and click on edit, and if we could delete this if we want, or we could change the volume here. So if we wanted to use different music, like I said earlier, we can come in here. So let's say we wanted to add different type of music. You could go ahead and just select on these different tracks. And if I wanted to go ahead and remove this, I could delete it. I could go ahead and just add a new one in, and we can see that the selected music was added to the video, and it automatically forms to fit our video length. So now we've went ahead and essentially created an entirely custom video ad here from scratch. So now we'll take a look at the completed ad one more time. So we can see it's a short and simple video ad, very easy to create. And then once you're done creating your ad, all you have to do is come up here to download, click on download, and click on export, and then just wait for it to upload, and you will be good to go. So that's how you can go ahead and create video ads for e-commerce, whether it's for your own products or for your clients' products. So be sure to check out invideo.io by clicking the first link in the description. And if you use the code CEC25, you can actually get 25% off any of the paid plans on InVideo. So with that said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.